Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome back to our daily Hindu editorial analysis with Alpa Sharma on India's largest online education platform, that is Gradeup. Sahi prep hai to life set hai. Good morning. Good morning. So we meet after 2 long days, and I was reading your messages, Shreya. आपने जो लिखा है, you have written exactly what I feel. You know, even if I'm not well at times, even if I have some commitment, I always wait for this class to come in the morning. Specifically, if I do not take classes on Saturdays and Sundays, I desperately wait for Monday's class to start. It is so good to see you guys. And अच्छा, आप मॉर्निंग फेंको मत हॉलिक्स ब्रो, आप मॉर्निंग दे दो. I'm going to take your morning, but I can't catch your morning. Okay, good morning. So I can't do that. Don't throw it at me. Okay. So आज का एजेंडा देखते हैं. आज का एजेंडा क्या है? आज का एजेंडा है, just a minute. Okay. So here we are. Today is 5th of July, but you know, हम एक दिन पुराना न्यूज़पेपर डिस्कस करते हैं, but there are no editorials in Sunday's newspaper, so I'm going to take the editorial from the 3rd of July. And tomorrow I am going to take today's editorial. I have already recorded a roundup video that should be up immediately after this class ends. Please watch that video, the roundup video for today's editorial. One beautiful article has come today, the one on army. Make sure you read that. It's a very interesting read. वो पढ़ो. Apart from that, जो भी मैंने और discuss किया आपके साथ, read those articles. Today we're going to take the 2 articles from the Hindu of 3rd of July. And for people who do not know me, my name is Alpa Sharma and I've been teaching CLAT aspirants for over 10 years. All right, so let me quickly have Pache K. Nagadevi. See, I have other commitments as well. I have other batches to take as well. And that's exactly why I can't take Saturdays and Sundays editorial class. Sundays we have no newspaper, right? So I can't do that. All right. So, एक ऑफ तो मैं भी डिजर्व करती हूँ, है ना? Agenda क्या है? We take a quote of the day, a positive quote of the day. Then we have 3 questions from the previous class. We're going to revise one word substitution. Then we're going to take 2 articles, discuss that in depth. We usually take 2 to 3 slides of vocabulary out of the article that we discuss, and then we memorize the vocabulary out of it. But today I have only 1 slide of vocabulary because the first article we're going to discuss, there were no very difficult words in that. So I could not find any word that I could jot down on my slide. But the article is important, so I could not miss that. So we're going to discuss that article, but it doesn't have a lot of good vocabulary. Then in the end, you, our favorite part, are going to tell me the tone of the author, plus in the comment section, not in the chat box, remember, in the comment section, you're going to tell me the summary. All right, so हम summary discuss करेंगे, आप मुझे comment box में reply करेंगे. If there is any other thing that you want to communicate with me, let me just quickly look into your chats. Ma'am, should we read after 10th of July news? If you're talking of GK, you can give it a skip, Tushar. If you're targeting CLAT 21, and if you're talking of GK, you can give this a skip. But please do not stop reading the editorial. All right. Okay, even I love this class, Horlicks, bro. Okay, so ma'am, please try to take class on Saturday also. चलो ठीक है, done. Coming Saturday, I'm going to take a class. Promise. All right, happy now? अब देखो, कुछ चीजें I have to communicate with you. If you guys want to communicate with me any specific thing, if you want me to take any specific article that has come in today's editorial, if you want to tell me something, if there is a request that you have to make, there are 2 ways where you can communicate with me. Either under my videos comment section. So you send a comment to me. I read all the comments, all the good comments. Okay, सारे bad वाले delete हो जाते हैं. So either you comment under my video, I'm going to look into your comment, or you can tag me in the Telegram law discussion group and send me a message. If you tag me, I will certainly read your message. Do not try to call me through Telegram personally. That is not a good way to speak to a faculty. So I hope ये सबको clear है. ठीक है. बच्चे श्रेया, it's in the process. It's taking some time. It's in the process. Okay? चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. Let us, but before that, we have flat 50% off going on our Gradeup super programs. Use this code UNLOCK50 and make sure you avail 50% off if you haven't enrolled yourself yet to any of our super programs. And if you're targeting CLAT 22, we have a comprehensive course starting very, very soon. That is batch 6. Batch 5 batches are already full. Make sure you hurry up and enroll yourself because the time is ticking. We don't have a lot of months left for even CLAT 22. Roughly 8-9 months are left. So make sure you enroll yourself at the earliest. Now the quote of the day is, all progress takes place outside the comfort zone. बहुत बहुत अच्छा quote है ये. So मैं English में बहुत comfortable हूँ. मैं out of 30 marks, I probably am able to score 20 easily. And I'm satisfied with that. Will I be able to progress? Possibly not. Progress कब होगी? When I start working on things that I'm not very comfortable with. I'm not very comfortable with mathematics, but I have to do that. Only then the progress will happen. Only then my marks will increase. So remember, I cannot get up in the morning. That's not my comfort zone. When you move out of the comfort zone, that's when you will progress. So remember, progress तभी होगा जब आप अपने comfort zone से बाहर निकलोगे. Everyone who's new to this class, welcome everyone. I hope you stick with me till the end of the class. Sahil, I'm trying. Ma'am, is this enough for currents? No, bache Disha. This class is not a current affairs class. This class is an editorial discussion class. This is more aligned towards English and less aligned towards GK. Okay? I will ask my video team to share the link of the Telegram group here. Anyone from the video team, can you do that? All right, chalo, आगे बढ़ते हैं. Now, revision from Friday's class. So, what is one word for an inclination or natural tendency to behave in a particular way? Is it propensity? Is it flout? Is it sabotage? Is it fawning? What is the answer here? Good morning, everyone. Yes, it's a very nice quote. Absolutely good. Also, आप मेरे loyal बच्चे हो. Even before the class starts, I get at least 10-20 likes on my video. Aarti, how can you work on your tones? I have made 2 videos on tone of the author. Please watch that. It's saved in this channel. The answer is... Oh, you watched the videos thrice? I'm going to answer that later on after this question. The answer is absolutely A. Propensity. Your propensity is your inclination towards anything. You like something, your propensity is your inclination. Okay? What is the meaning of the word flout? Flout is to violate. Sabotage is to, what is sabotage? By the time you answer sabotage, a fawning is a dependent. Okay? A fawning is a dependent. All right. Like kar diya. Thank you so much. Sabotage is destroyed. Absolutely correct, Shreya. Sabotage is destroyed. Correct. Let's move on to the next word. Something that is very deep. Is it goad? Is it abysmal? Is it idiosyncrasy? Is it impede? What is it? What is the answer? Correct. Destroy, ruin, violate. Ruin is also sabotage. Correct. बताओ आंसर क्या है? Goad, abysmal, idiosyncrasy, impede. Chamcha, yes, you remember Aditya? Absolutely correct. Yes, the answer is B. Deliberately destroy, sabotage, prekshana. Absolutely correct. So, answer here is abysmal. Abysmal is jiska koi end nahi. It is so deep that you can't see the end here. Okay, that is abysmal. Now, what is goad? Goad is to protrude or maybe, to poke. Poke is a better word. Okay. So, goad is to poke. Idiosyncrasy is a crazy person. Okay. What is impede? Impede is to hinder. We did these words in Friday's class if you remember them. Yes. All right. Let's move on to the third question. What is one word for feeling or expressing remorse at the recognition that you have done something wrong? I give you an example of an incorrect question you might have marked in the mock. And then after the mock ends, you realize, oh my God, I marked an incorrect answer. What is one word for that situation? Is it wet? Is it implode? Is it contrite? Is it insipid? What is it? All right, let me see. What's the answer? No, wet is not the answer. No. No. Insipid is also not the answer. The answer is contrite. Oh, you guys don't remember this. The answer is contrite. Okay. The answer absolutely is contrite. What is wet? Wet is to assess a situation. Assess a situation. Okay, you check out everything. That is wet. The other wet is a doctor of animals. Implode is the opposite of explode. To burst outside is explode. To burst inwards is implode. Contrite is the answer for this question. Insipid is very pale, tasteless. Okay. Tasteless is insipid. I hope you get this. कोई बात नहीं, confusion हो गया तो याद कर लो अब. Social media addiction can impede your concentration to study. Absolutely, very good example, Lauren. Very good example. And for everyone who is targeting CLAT 21, I think it's high time now that you turn your social media off. Apna Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat, and I don't know if what all other apps you have. Please uninstall them. You can reinstall them after you get into an NLU. ठीक है? Scrutiny हो सकता है भाव्या. Absolutely. Scrutiny is a synonym to it. Thank you Utkarsh for prompting everyone. गुरु दक्षिणा दे दो बच्चे. 120 लोग अभी भी वॉच कर रहे हैं. अनलाइक कौन कर देता है मेरे भाई? चलो let's move on. Let's look at the words from today's editorial. The first word, this is the only list we have today. We don't have a lot of difficult words in today's class. Imperative. Imperative is something that is very, very important. It is imperative for you to read if you want to get good scores in CLAT. It is very, very important. You can't oversee that, overlook that. That is imperative, okay? Something that is important. Immediate action was imperative. It was much needed. All right. Next word. What is it? Implode, bache, Emily. So, implode is the opposite of explode. Explode is to burst outside. Implode is to burst inwards. Something that bursts inwards is implode. Okay, apart from that, just a minute. Yes, we've done imperative before. We've done stark also before. Shampati, you'll remember that. Stark is kisi cheez ka outline. But the outline is so prominent that you can't miss it. It is a very prominent outline, prominent appearance of something. Okay? Prominent appearance is stark. The stark reality, you can't miss it. It is absolutely noticeable. Noticeable. Noticeable appearance, let me put it that way, is stark. The third word is adjunct. Adjunct is a thing added to something else as a supplementary rather than an essential part. So, essential services kuch hoti hai, the other is supplementary. So, vaccination jab lag rahi thi essential services walon ko, that was important. Jab baad mein logon ko lagne lagi, it was adjunct. The computer technology is an adjunct to learning. It is not primary, it is secondary. That is adjunct. I hope you understand this word. Let me look into your... Okay, I'm so sorry, Priya. Editorials are imperative for CLAT. Absolutely correct. It is very, very important. Good morning, everyone. If you're late, ma'am, should you write it? You may not. If you're able to memorize them, you don't have to write it. But if you forget them, then I think you should write that after the class ends. Yes, we've done Jeopardy as well before, Neha. Correct. Dekho, I had to find out repetitive words are jitne kam vocabulary ke words hai. Understand that. Okay. So, next word is advent. Advent is something that is happening right now. Current. The arrival of something. Yes. Arrival of a notable person or a thing. Jo abhi abhi hua hai. The advent of television. It has just now arrived. This whole technology is a recent one. So, recent can be advent. Or arrival of an important thing, idea, person. is also advent. The second last word is jeopardy. Jeopardy is जब आप jeopardize करते हो किसी चीज को, आप harm करते हो. You harm something. Yes. It's a loss, it's a harm, it's a failure. That's to jeopardize something. The whole peace process is in jeopardy. It's not effective. It is actually causing a lot of harm rather than doing good. That is jeopardize. This is a phrasal verb. Phrasal verb, fall through. Fall through is finally end, to fail. This whole plan fell through. That means it failed. It did not succeed. No success. Is to fall through. The project fell through due to lack of money. We had no money, so the project failed. That is fall through. I hope you understand that. What is your question, Sunil? मैम न्यूज़पेपर में क्या क्या पढ़े समझ नहीं आता. हिंदी न्यूज़पेपर में समझ आता है बट टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया में समझ नहीं आता, क्या करें? सुनील, first thing, watch my video on how to read and understand the editorials, how to analyze the editorial. There's a video that I've already made. I have answered your question in detail there. Even after you watch the video, if you still have doubts, come back tomorrow, ask me the question again. If you still have doubts persisting, I will make sure I answer your doubt. Fair enough? Okay. स्टार्क फिर से एक्सप्लेन करती हूँ मैं अंजना आपको. स्टार्क का मतलब होता है बहुत ही ओके. सो आई कैन सी समथिंग, बट जो भी मुझे दिख रहा है, वट एवर आई सी, इट इज सो अनमिसेबल. यू कांट मिस इट. इट इज सच दैट everybody will notice it. That is stark. Stark reality होता है, या stark appearance होता है किसी का. Okay, that is stark. You can't miss it. All right. Okay. Arshita says, can I read Times of India for CLAT? मैंने ये question भी answer किया है, how to analyze the editorial वाले video में. Watch that video. All of you who have doubts about newspaper, after you watch that video, you can come back to me and tell me if you still have doubts in tomorrow's class. I will make sure I address all your questions. Now, okay. So let's now move on to, yes, stark reality. I hope you've taken a screenshot of this. Let's move on to our first article. Now, guys, I will want you to turn your chat boxes off because I will not be able to read your chats. Also, I will recommend that you don't chat amongst yourselves, because if you do that, I am unable to identify what chats are aimed at me and what chats are aimed at somebody else. So, turn your chat boxes off. Stick with me for 2 articles. Understand them. After this article's discussion ends, you have to tell me the tone of the author. So be very, very careful. Now, this article is an important one. It's an international piece of article. This article talks about how European Union has approved some vaccinations, and those people who have been vaccinated. देखो ये रहे नाम. These are the vaccination जो European Union ने approve किए हैं. Okay, and European Union ने बोला कि anybody who has been vaccinated with these vaccines can come to Europe. But other people who have not been vaccinated with these, they cannot come to Europe. Now, this has irked India. This has disturbed India because Covishield, Covaxin, obviously list mein nahi hai. Sputnik is also not in the list. Nonetheless, even if Sputnik is not in the list, Covishield and Covaxin are not in the list certainly. Or, देखो, Covaxin abhi bhi it's in the process of being recognized. But जब Covishield को WHO ने recognize कर दिया है, why has European Union not agreed to this vaccination? So it has irked Indians a lot. Indian ambassadors को भी irk किया है इस चीज ने. So this article is about that. Now understand in detail what this article talks about. Yes, this is the discrimination. Absolutely correct. India must continue to monitor discrimination in vaccine passport issues. What is it about? Okay, so the European Union's decision to enforce a green pass. ग्रीन पास किसके लिए? उनको वीजा मिलेगा जिन्होंने एक सर्टेन वैक्सीनेशन लगवाई हुई है. टू अलाउ ट्रैवल विद इन द यूरोपियन यूनियन फ्रॉम जुलाई 1 हैज लिंक्ड to specific vaccinations has set off a storm of protest from several quarters including India. Now, after European Union has approved some vaccines and it hasn't approved a lot of vaccines, even if those vaccines are recognized by the WHO, it has upset a lot of countries including India. According to the European Medicine Agency that sets the guidelines, These are the vaccinations that are permitted, which makes it clear that neither of India's vaccine, Covishield or Covaxin, as well as Russia's and China's, that is exactly why Sputnik was not approved, neither Pfizer is, so would be eligible for the EU digital COVID certification. There is a certification that you need to be traveling inside European Union. If you have these vaccinations, you would get the certification. If you don't have them, you would not be given the certification. External Affairs Minister Jay Shankar took up the exclusion strongly with the EU authorities this week. He was very unhappy and he said, what is this? How will things work between us? So, just a minute. Yeah. So how will things work between us? So he was very critical about European Union authorities, particularly the case of Covishield. Why not Covishield after the fact that WHO has finally recognized it, which is made under licensing and certification of AstraZeneca and cleared by the WHO. Despite that, why has Covishield not been permitted? India has argued that the entire idea of vaccine passport would leave developing nations, including India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, so many of these nations and the global south at a disadvantage. If you do not approve of these vaccinations, these developing countries will be at a disadvantage, of course, because they're not allowed to travel to the European Union as they have restricted the vaccine access. An unspoken but valid criticism. This is a very, very important line. Read this carefully, everyone. Now, people are saying, okay, European Union has approved some vaccination. It has not approved a lot of other vaccination, including Russia's and China's as well as Covaxin and Covishield also. So there is an unsaid, hidden agenda maybe, which nobody agrees upon publicly, but there must be a hidden agenda. What is the hidden agenda? The agenda is that there is a hint of racism in the action. The EMA list only includes vaccination already used by the Europe and North America only. These vaccinations that the European Union has approved include vaccinations only by Europe and North America. Then possibly European Union is trying to be racist here. Why not any other country? क्या उनके पास में know-how नहीं है? Are they poor in their know-how, in their technical knowledge? If not, then why have you not approved their vaccine? Also, guys, I have to tell you this. My experience when I went to Europe has not been very, very good. I have been a part of racial discrimination as well, specifically in France. So this is nothing hidden when I say Europe becomes racist. A letter of protest on the EMA's decision was also issued by the African Union and the African CDC this week. This is not a very important line. This line is important. The EMA list is not binding, however, and countries can choose to include others individually. So European Union में जो countries आ रहे हैं, individual countries can include Covaxin, Covishield, but complete union की एक list आई है. But ये binding list नहीं है. Individual countries can choose individual vaccination as well. After India's vocal protest, India clearly openly आके बोला we're not happy with this. So India ने vocally अपना point of view present किया, and its subtle threat to impose reciprocal measure, a very, very important thing. India acted in a very good way. India said this is not acceptable, and if you do not allow Covishield and Covaxin, then we are also going to act in a reciprocal manner. If you are unfriendly, we are also going to become unfriendly. And said at least a third of the European Union has said they would recognize Covishield. Chalo, theek hai. After India was angry, at least one third of the European Union, one third of the countries have agreed कि चलो ठीक है हम Covishield को तो दे देते हैं. That's a relief at least. Why? And ये क्यों हुआ? Because of India's strong voiceover. India was very, very strongly sharing their opinion, and that is exactly why this happened. While the news that Austria, Estonia, Germany, Greece, Ireland, Netherlands, all of these, and Switzerland have accommodated India's concern is welcome, there are still some hurdles. देखो मैंने आपको बोला ना फ्रांस, देखो इस लिस्ट में फ्रांस नहीं है, ठीक है. सर ये जो कंट्रीज है इन्होंने अग्री किया कि ठीक है हम इंडिया की कुछ वैक्सीनेशंस को अप्रूव कर देंगे. फ्रांस ने नहीं किया है. देयर आर स्टिल सम हर्डल्स बिफोर इंडियन ट्रैवलर्स. मोस्ट ऑफ दीज, अब देखो इवन इफ दीज कंट्रीज अप्रूव ऑफ कोविशील्ड, अभी भी बहुत हर्डल है हमारे लिए. हर्डल इसलिए है बिकॉज डेल्टा वेरिएंट जो फर्स्ट हमने इंडिया में आइडेंटिफाई किया था अब वो स्प्रेड हो रहा है, राइट. सेकेंड वेव इंडिया में आई और बहुत खराब है. डेल्टा वेरिएंट इंडिया से ही स्प्रेड हुआ. सो even if our vaccination is approved, because of the Delta variant, a lot of countries are not open to giving visas to Indians for obvious reasons. We would have done the same had there been any other country jahan Delta variant आता. So India के लिए अभी travel easy नहीं है. In addition, Indians who have taken doses of Covaxin will need to wait even longer क्योंकि अभी तक Covaxin is not recognized by the WHO. So first, because of the Delta variant, we're not getting visas. Now, even if we get visas, only Covishield will get visas. Covaxin has still not been recognized. It will be recognized slowly and steadily. But अभी तक recognized नहीं है तो और wait करना पड़ेगा travelers को. Finally, as more nations complete their vaccine program, they will seek to tighten their border controls. Yes. Now, for example, New Zealand, most of the population is vaccinated there. So, obviously, since most of the population is vaccinated there, वो बाहर के country के लोगों को आने के लिए welcome नहीं होंगे because they don't want their population to suffer. So, every country whose vaccination is speeding up and almost complete, they will close their borders for international travel. While it is necessary for the government to keep up with these actions worldwide, the battle discriminatory practices, the real imperative remains to vaccinate as many people as possible. Dekho, of course, we are battling with other countries, but what we need to focus right now is that every Indian is vaccinated. Only then the virus will subside. Given that more than 6 months after Indian inoculation program, only 4.4% have been vaccinated. This is a very, very important data, especially for those people who are going to write the WAT. After 6 months, 6 महीने से वैक्सीनेशन का प्लान हमारे कंट्री में चल रहा है. एलिजिबल कौन लोग है? 18 प्लस. सो ये जो एज ग्रुप है इसमें भी सिर्फ ओनली एंड ओनली 4.4% पीपल आर वैक्सीनेटेड. What about under 18? We don't know. If we still don't know when is that going to be approved. So what we need to focus right now is as many people are vaccinated as possible. चलो अब आपके क्वेश्चन देख लेती हूँ मैं. ओके मैम, क्लैट 21 के लिए अभी तक न्यूज वोकैब या जो ऑलरेडी कर चुके हैं वो रिवाइज करके और न्यूज़पेपर भी अभी तक पढ़े या नहीं, प्लीज गाइड. मैम, यू हैव टू रिवाइज एवरीथिंग. Akarshika, you have to revise everything. GK vocab very, very important. Otherwise, you're going to forget them. I think you need to revise everything here. Apart from that, किसी और दिन कहानी सुनाऊंगी क्या हुआ था फ्रांस में. अभी ये वीडियो लाइक करो, ठीक है? Okay. So, what is the tone here? Suggestive, yes. Absolutely. Critical as well. Because the whole article is critical towards the European Union. So critical and the last two lines only suggestive. So these are the two important tones that I think. Okay. These are the two important tones. I hope you get this, everyone. Okay. Now let's move on to the next article. What does the next article talk about? Yes. Critical hai to lampooning bhi hoga. Absolutely. Okay. So let's look at the next article. But before that, if you want to revise your whole course for CLAT, we have a CLAT rapid revision course starting very, very soon. In fact, it has already started. If you want to revise the whole course for CLAT, make sure you enroll yourself for this batch. But if you want to revise specifically legal reasoning or possibly GK only, you can enroll yourself for these two batches. One batch specifically for GK revision, if you want to boost your scores in GK, and there is one batch specifically for revising legal reasoning. You can enroll yourself for this batch as well. Make sure you do that fast because we don't have a lot of time left for our examinations. Okay, ma'am, please tell us the figure of speech also, if any present in the passage. Oh, Ashutosh, that's a good suggestion. Today, I can't do that, of course, because we have already done this article. But tomorrow's editorial, we can do that. Abhi, okay. Just a minute. Apart from that, we have a crash course specifically starting from BHU BLAT and Jamia LLB. If you're appealing for these examinations, you could enroll yourself for this crash course, that is batch 3. Make sure you use our code to avail a discount. Now this article. Now stick with me. No chats. I'll not be able to read your chats. Understand what this article talks about. This article is completely focused on you as a student. So this article says how after the pandemic started, everything went online. Everything went on internet. But does everyone have access to internet? Does every teacher have access to internet? Does every village in our country have access to internet? High speed internet so that our classes are uninterrupted? Possibly not. So this is actually an issue right now. And how can our country deal with the issue? Because COVID right now doesn't seem to go anywhere. And possibly आपका भी जब आप college जाओगे, आपका भी first year online ही होने वाला है. It's very, very likely. So how can we deal with it? Okay, why not defending? Oh, okay. Chalo. Tone and defending. Chalo, ठीक है. Before I start, I will tell you what your questions are. One about tone and the other about defending. The previous article, can it be defending or not? Let me show you the previous article. It can be defending, yes. It can be defending. Because when the author criticizes the European Union, it is in a way trying to defend its own country here. So I think defending can be a good tone here. Agree to it. So Anuj, yes, correct answer. Now apart from that, tone. Soumya, if you have identified, if you have watched my videos on tone, my assumption is that most of the students who have seen my videos, they're pretty much they understand what the tone is here. Did you try to implement that knowledge to my editorial classes? Do you try to identify the tone in my editorial classes? Okay. Vrinda का क्या है statement? Vrinda statement, नहीं बच्चे, persuasive नहीं है. No, this is not persuasive. Okay. And apart from that, what I was asking was, Soumya, have you been trying to answer the tones that we do in the editorial? If you try to do that, I think you will be able easily to identify the tone. That should not be a lot of problem. Okay. So get back to the article now. If you still haven't found the answer to your question, please stick with me towards the end of the class. Okay? No, not yet. See, I caught you. I think you should be doing it with me daily. That's when you'll be able to master your tone. Most of the students who come to my class daily, they're even better than most of the other students who do not know tones. They're a lot better. In fact, they at times suggest tones to me. They have become so good. So I think if you come daily, you'll be a master of tones. ठीक है? चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. So, net loss on internet access to schools. The digital divide in India's school education system, reflected by the absence of computers and internet access on campus, emerges starkly from the Education Ministry's Unified District Information System for Education Plus. Now, this line explains how all the government schools that we have, they do not have access to internet and computers. Okay, the students also do not have access to internet and computers, but most of the cities, they have access to it. So there's a stark difference that you can see here for the pre-pandemic year of 2019 and 20. So pre-pandemic year से जब आप compare करते हो अभी के time को, you can see a stark difference, specifically the difference in rural and urban areas. Physical infrastructure has traditionally meant good buildings. पहले क्या होता था कोविड से पहले? अच्छा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का मतलब अच्छी बिल्डिंग, अच्छी फैसिलिटी, प्लेग्राउंड, लाइब्रेरी, water, toilet. But today, if I talk about good infrastructure, what is infrastructure? How will a good building matter to me जब मुझे घर से बैठ के online classes लेनी है? A good building doesn't matter. A playground doesn't matter. What matters is that we have online access and computers. That is what good infrastructure right now is. During 2021, it became painfully evident that most students had to rely on remote learning. But many faced the double jeopardy of not possessing their own computing devices and smartphones at home. So we knew it was very difficult for all of you to sit at home and watch online videos of your teachers and study, specifically your schools. I'm sure you dearly missed your school as well. But what was even more painful was the fact that a lot of students did not have access to smartphones or computers. there was a scheme that our government had launched, जहां वो सबको कंप्यूटर अवेलेबल करवा रहे थे, बट उस स्कीम का क्या हुआ ये बात आपको भी पता है और मुझे भी पता है. And in remote areas, particularly in the northeast, many had to travel closer to mobile phone towers to access the internet. You know what? There was a time when you will not believe, I had to sit under a mobile tower and take a live class at Gradeup because the city I was in had poor internet. तो जब मैं ऑनलाइन क्लास ले सकती हूँ, इमेजिन कितने और स्टूडेंट्स होंगे जिनको मोबाइल टावर के नीचे बैठ के पढ़ाई करनी पड़ती होगी. इट्स एक्चुअली नॉट वेरी फनी बिकॉज it is very painful to do that. The latest data confirms that a mere 22% of the school across our country on average had internet access. Imagine only 22% of the schools had internet access, while government institutions fared much worse. ये तो प्राइवेट की है डेटा. गवर्नमेंट की बात करोगे only 11% had access to internet. What is 11%? I would look at the education and the internet access our country right now has. On the second metric of functional computer access, the national average was 30% and for the government schools 28%. Beyond, so this is only data that says individual states का देखो कितना लो है. ठीक है, Odisha 8.5%, West Bengal still at 13%. So our internet access right now is really poor. Students and teachers not being able to use computers and the internet is acknowledged to be a form of deprivation. See, पहले जब इंटरनेट नहीं था, kids used to just play and do whatever they wanted to. But as the technology is advancing, internet has become a basic essential. Okay, so if they are not provided with internet, it's a kind of deprivation that they have, especially during the pandemic, जहां classes सिर्फ online होती हैं. Just as the inability to attend in-person classes is another. So this line says, in-person classes आप attend नहीं कर सकते, ये एक deprivation है. दूसरा, आपके पास internet नहीं है, that's another deprivation that you have. Many scholars see the teaching learning process as a multi-dimensional, helping to inculcate social skills. Going to school can never compare, taking your school classes online, according to the author, because what a school teaches you is it teaches you a lot of social skills. But COVID-19 has, however, compelled all countries to evaluate hybrid education models with a mix of lessons delivered virtually now and on campus later when the virus threat abates. Of course, क्योंकि ये एक social learning है, school में जो पढ़ाया जाता है, a lot of countries have now revised their education program. They've said, okay, we're going to teach some things online and we're going to keep some things for later on when the school reopens. तब हम school में पढ़ाएंगे वो. In such a multi-layered process, bringing computers and the internet to all schools cannot be delayed because the pandemic doesn't seem to go anywhere and everybody needs access to computers and internet. So we should not be delaying this. The center must explore all options. Now comes a suggestion to the center. It should explore all options such as National Broadband Mission, the BSNL network and other service providers to connect to schools. So the center can do a lot of things to connect to schools, including all government institutions that are severely deprived. All the government schools, जिनकी condition अभी बहुत खराब है because they have absolutely no access to internet. Private still have. The upcoming 5G standard with the benefit of high wireless bandwidth may also be able to help bridge the gap quickly. So yes, when the 5G comes, we are a little hopeful that things are going to improve. Getting computers to school should not be difficult because apart from public funding, communities, corporates and hardware makers can use recycling and donation options. ये बहुत अच्छा है. बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जो donate कर रहे हैं computers, अपने old computers recycle करवा रहे हैं इन बच्चों को help करने के लिए. So it's not a very difficult thing to do. When I say every school should have internet access, every school should have computers. It's not a very difficult thing to do. We can do it by following these things. The UDISC Plus shows that many schools have fallen through the net and they need urgent help to get connected. Fallen through is failed. They failed using the internet and they need urgent help to be connected. Okay, so many tones, but let me quickly look into your स्कूल ज्यादा बंकिंग स्कूल ज्यादा अच्छा होता. अच्छा, ओके. What's that Ashutosh say? Okay, he has some data here. Our radiation harm the brain cells also. Yes, Aditya, but you have no choice. Okay, इतने सारे messages आ गए. Okay. ठीक है. Concerning, suggestive, absolutely suggestive, undoubtedly. क्या करना चाहिए गवर्नमेंट को? Suggestive. Concerning भी है, he is unhappy with the fact that why schools still don't have access to internet and computers. So it is suggestive also. No. Concerning, suggestive, two best tones, informative, some sections. Okay, but I will still choose concerning and suggestive over everything else. Yeah. Correct. Critical, बहुत छोटा section. Still, the best of the tones remain concerning and suggestive. Now, let us look. I hope you understand this. Now, let us look at the caricature of the day. Okay. Oh ho! What are you doing, Evo meditation? Somebody please criticism from the beginning. Only in the beginning, बच्चे यहाँ criticism नहीं है देखो. Some sections it is critical. Yes. Okay. Now let's look at contemplative. Yes, it can be contemplative. He's thinking what to do, how to make things better. It can be contemplative. Okay. Now let's move on to our caricature. Let's see what does it say. But remember, write your summary in the comment section. I'm going to check all of your summaries. And if you targeted CLAT 23, I'm going to be a part of this batch as well. You can enroll yourself for this batch if you have 1.5, approximately 2 years. And this is the list of our faculties. I hope you know all of them. I don't have to introduce you to any one of these. अब ये देखो, मुझे बताओ, who is this person? Who is this person? What is happening between them? जल्दी से मुझे बताओ. I have approximately 150 people live. Why do I have? मैम डेली कोई ना कोई डिस्टर्ब करने आ जाता है. Yes, I know आराध्या, कोई बात नहीं. Don't pay attention to it. ठीक है. लाइक कर दो सेशन, ये कर दो, और जो भी डिस्टर्ब करना है वो लाइक करके जाना. हाँ ठीक है, ये करके जाना जरूर. अच्छा मैम 21 के लिए अभी तक न्यूज़पेपर एंड वोकैब पढ़ना है. एब्सोल्युटली वोकैब करना है एंड एडिटोरियल पढ़ना है. थैंक यू स्वाति, थैंक यू सो मच. इट कैन बी कॉन्टेम्पलेटिव. यस. ऑप्टिमिस्टिक कुछ पार्ट्स में, कुछ पार्ट्स में. ठीक है, बहुत ही कम. Okay, the CJI. Who is our CJI? Can you name him? He is getting angry on our Prime Minister right now. वो कह रहे हैं कि आपने क्या किया डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट में. वो कह रहे हैं आप प्लान पे आइए, आप डिजास्टर मैनेज कीजिए. आपने पॉसिबली कहीं चीजें, कुछ चीजें स्किप कर दी. So he's little angry with our Prime Minister. Okay, so I hope you understand this caricature. Now guys, I am going to CGI scolding the PM to pay more attention to the authority. Yes, absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Okay, now I am going to see you. Now I have to end this class. I'm going to see you tomorrow with 2 editorial articles. I will possibly be bringing 1 Indian Express article because I think one article is only that is very, very important. The others can be possibly skipped. So make sure you watch the roundup video. I'll be bringing 1 Indian Express article tomorrow. Read the Indian Express also today. Watch the roundup video. Till then, work very hard, everyone. And God bless all of you. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.